What if each one of us, with all our passions, skills, talents, and gifts, was the answer to all the world's problems? And what if finding and doing what you love was vital for the survival of the human species? I have always been one to follow my heart. As a child growing up in Ohio surrounded by cornfields, I could never have imagined that one day I would be immersed in the oceanic world of whales and dolphins. But on my first whale watch, I found myself falling unexpectedly in love with the humpback whale, and soon found myself in Hawaii studying them, leading eco-tours to places like British Columbia, New Zealand, and the Azores Islands off of Portugal. I loved the world of whales. In the world of whales, I felt alive. Every chance I got, I was studying, reading, and writing about whales. My first job was a naturalist on a whale watch boat out of Plymouth, Massachusetts, where I did research and answered questions about whales. During that time, I also developed my skills and passions as a nature writer, and soon my articles were being published. I truly enjoyed writing about my experiences with the whales and sharing them with a larger audience. Then, my life took a left turn, and I became a single mother. I was scared and worried about how I would support myself and my daughter. A little voice in my head began to whisper, "You'll never make a living as a writer, get a real job." The voice grew louder, and so did my fear. So, I listened to the voice. I got the job, following the easy money. I set aside my dream of being a writer and dammed a river within me. But my passion for my writing and whales and dolphins in the natural world did not go away. It kept pushing on me from the inside, and I kept resisting, fearing the little voice. It was my interest in the orca whales that led to my interest in the salmon. The resident pods J, K, and L that summer in the San Juan Islands require at least 250 to 500 pounds of salmon each per day. They rely almost exclusively on king salmon to survive. With the orca population in decline, the survival of the salmon is vital. So it was, with great joy and hope, that I welcomed the news of the removal of the Elwha Dam in the spring of 2012 on the Olympic Peninsula. And even greater joy when I heard that the salmon were found spawning so far upstream from the site of the dam so soon after removal. How is this possible? Common knowledge suggests that the salmon returned to the rivers of their birth to spawn. That dam had been there for 100 years. None of those salmon were born there. So, one sunny day, while sipping tea outside of Bainbridge Baker's with my friend John Williams, a marine biologist and an underwater filmmaker, I asked him how this was possible. He reached over and drew a bell curve on my notebook. In every population, there are outliers. Not all the salmon go up the rivers to spawn. Outliers. The word rang in my head. Suddenly I could see all those little salmon swimming to the beat of their own drum, following their hearts for the survival of their species. And I realized something about myself. I am an outlier, created by my own interests, passions, talents, and skills to be different, to think differently for the survival of my species. Today, I have returned to my writing like a salmon returning to its river. I've taken on my first client as a writing coach, and my book, Whales of the West Coast, came out just today. We are no different from the salmon. We are a part of nature, not apart from it. Each one of us is born with a piece of the puzzle, a gift, a solution, something to give to the world. One key to finding it is to find that thing you love to do. Find a way to make it pay. Develop it. And together, like the entrepreneurial salmon, we will change the world. It is vital for the survival of our species.